Some people think that a hotel is just a place to rest your head, but I honestly think that a hotel is the backbone of your vacation, especially when visiting a place like Walt Disney World. And that's why today I'm going to tell you 5 hotels that I think are best for families visiting the Walt Disney World Resort. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel where today we're sipping on a pumpkin spice coffee while chatting about choosing the right hotel for you and your family if you're planning a Disney vacation. First things first, is there a better way to start your day? Now look, Walt Disney World is well known for being a family-friendly vacation destination. People travel from all over the world to bring their families to the magic right here in Florida. But that doesn't mean that everything at Walt Disney World is ideal for families. For the most part, yes, but some things are going to be better suited for families than others. This is especially true when we talk about the Walt Disney World Resort hotels. So that's why today I wanted to sit down with you and chat about 5 of these hotels that I think are best suited for families. And look, everyone's family is a little bit different. Everyone's wants and needs are going to be different. So it's important to keep that in mind as we dig into this discussion today, because some of these are definitely not going to be right for your family, while others might hit the nail right on the head. Now, before we really dig in, I want to get 2 things out of the way just so that we're all on the same page. The first is that this list is in no particular order. Like I said, families have different wants and needs. They also have different budgets. And so I'm just listing these off as they come to mind. Now, the second thing is that we're going to pop into the Walt Disney World website and take a look at each of these 5 resorts, each of these 5 hotels, so that you can get an idea of room types and availability. Now, when you look up hotel rooms, not only here at Walt Disney World, but elsewhere, you need to pick dates. I picked peak season. So some of these prices might seem a little bit frightening, but here's the thing. Just take a breath and understand that this is the most expensive time of year to visit these hotels. You're also going to see limited availability because it is a very popular time of year and it's less than 6 months away at this point. So don't be turned away from any of these options because you're seeing the price point and you're going, oh my goodness, there's no way I could do that. Make your way over to the Walt Disney World website when you get a chance and put your dates in and see what pricing looks like, because pricing may be very different for the time of year when you're planning on visiting than it will be for the time of year that I happen to look up today just for the sake of exploring the website. Now, with that out of the way, let's jump into this list, and we're starting off strong with one of the resorts that not only is a favorite of mine, but I think is perfect for families who want to be right in the Disney magic, and that is Disney's Art of Animation Resort. Now, this resort is in the value category, which means it's one of the most affordable accommodation options at the Walt Disney World Resort, but it's important to keep in mind if you're looking into this resort that there are 2 different types of rooms available here. One is going to be a standard style room. These are located in the Little Mermaid area of this resort. And then the other is going to be a family suite. Now, the family suites are a little bit more expensive, but they are going to have a lot more space and are going to be perfect for larger families and those who might have otherwise needed 2 rooms rather than 1. I also think that these are a great alternative to villa style accommodations. For example, if you're thinking about staying at a Disney Vacation Club villa or somewhere else at a timeshare property, but you'd prefer to stay on Disney property, this might be something that you want to look into, because you do have like a living area, a dining area, a kitchenette area, as well as a separate bedroom. They also have 2 bathrooms in these rooms as well. So it's definitely a more ideal option if you're a bigger family that doesn't want to have 2 rooms. You want everyone to be in one space. Now, there are a lot of great things that we could say about Disney's Art of Animation. We could honestly be here all day talking about it. We've hung out there before, we've stayed there before, and we absolutely love this resort. But some other things that we think you need to know about if you're considering Art of Animation is that you do have access to the Disney Skyliner. The Disney Skyliner is a fantastic mode of Disney transportation, though it's not for everyone, especially if you don't like heights or if you run into some issues with motion sickness. So it's important to know that before you book this resort, because you will be using the Disney Skyliner to get around, especially if you're headed to Hollywood Studios or Epcot. You'll be able to take a bus to anywhere else that you want to go. I know there are a lot of kids out there who love the Disney Skyliner. It feels like an attraction for them. I can't tell you how many families I've crossed paths with who are just like, we can't ride again, we have to get where we're going. So that's a great feature of staying at this resort as well. Of course, other things we love about Disney's Art of Animation is that, like other value options here at Walt Disney World, other value resorts, you do have a food court where you have plenty of different dining options, a little bit of something for everybody. There's a lot of great theming throughout, lots of activities that you and your family can participate in. This is especially great for those of you who are traveling with little ones. Maybe you're going to be doing nap time midday or just getting out of the heat. There are things to do at your resort, and it's really a destination all its own. So I definitely recommend Disney's Art of Animation Resort for families. Now, as a little side note, like a bonus tip, Art of Animation is walking distance from Disney's Pop Century Resort. It's like just across the way. And while I didn't include Pop Century in this list because I just don't feel like it has what I want it to have in order to recommend this for families over Art of Animation, I do think that it's a good option for those of you who maybe don't need a family suite, you want a smaller room, you want to get a room that's a little bit more affordable, but you still want to be super close to Art of Animation. It's important to realize that if you stay at Pop Century, you won't be able to use the pool at Art of Animation, which is a really cool pool. So, that's something to consider, though Pop Century has a great pool too. But you'll easily be able to wander over there and enjoy the resort itself. So wander through the different sections and experience all the theming, experience the dining. So that's kind of like a little bonus option that's available to you. It'll still be great for families. You and your family will still have a fantastic time, but you might be able to cut down a little bit on cost and still have the ability to experience Art of Animation at least a little bit. And of course, you will also have the Skyliner, so that applies to Pop Century too. Next up on our list, we have to talk about the AllStars. Now, there are 3 different All-Star resorts at Walt Disney World. There's All-Star Sports, Movies, and Music. These are all value category resorts, which means, again, they're going to be the most affordable resorts here at Walt Disney World, and these are going to be the most affordable. Of course, as I mentioned, Art of Animation is also a value, Pop Century is also a value, but their pricing is slightly higher than the All-Star options. So that makes the All-Stars a great option for families who are traveling on a tight budget. Now, the All-Star resorts are going to have over-the-top theming that matches the name of the resort. So, for example, All-Star Sports is going to have over-the-top, larger-than-life sports theming, including huge football helmets and a pool themed to baseball. You're going to get something similar over at All-Star Movies and All-Star Music. And look, while I know that over-the-top, larger-than-life theming isn't going to be for everyone, I think that it is just super magical and I absolutely love this. I also think that it's great for kids because while these might be a more affordable option, people often refer to them as like the motels here at Walt Disney World. This is not your standard hotel. This is not a standard motel. This place is overflowing with Disney magic, and I'm telling you, your kids are going to remember this. Now, for the sake of today's discussion, I'm mentioning all of these All-Stars as if they're one resort, but it's important to realize that they're 3 separate places. They're 3 independent resorts. They each have their own feature pool, they each have their own food court, they each have their own gift shop. So it doesn't really matter which one you choose, you're going to have access to the same things, which in this case is, as I mentioned, a themed pool, that food court, which again is going to be cafeteria style, so you're going to have a lot of options to choose from, and of course a wide range of activities that you and your family can do when you're at the resort, which just like Art of Animation makes this a great place, especially for younger families who are going to be returning to the resort midday, maybe for nap time, maybe just to get out of the sun. There's a lot going on here, there's a lot you can do here, and again, I think that makes this a perfect option for families. Next up, we're talking about Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort, a resort that I think is a whole lot of fun despite the fact that it gets some hate. This is one of those resorts that you either love it or hate it, but I think that it's a great option for families. Now, unlike the resorts we've talked about thus far, Disney's Caribbean Beach falls into the moderate category, which means it's kind of the middle of the road in terms of pricing. It's not the most affordable, but it's not the most expensive either. Now, Disney's Caribbean Beach is a great option for families for a number of reasons, but one of the things that I really like about Caribbean Beach is that since it's spread out and there are so many different areas to enjoy, I really feel like this is a great option for families who like to have the ability to decompress during their vacation. You want to be able to enjoy the pool, but you don't necessarily want to be in the feature pool where there's loud music and hustle and bustle and games going on. Or for example, you want to be able to enjoy a playground, but you don't necessarily want to be in the hustle and bustle of the main area of the resort. Here at Caribbean Beach, you have the option of doing that, enjoying all of those things, but being a little bit out of the way. And that can be really nice, especially if that's a priority for you and your family. Disney's Caribbean Beach is also located along the Disney Skyliner, which means you have easy access to Hollywood Studios as well as Epcot. You also have easy access to Art of Animation, so if you want to go wander around over there, you can just jump on the Skyliner and go check that out. They do have a quick service restaurant here at Disney's Caribbean Beach, which we love, by the way. Fantastic food over there. They have grab-and-go options, which is wonderful. They also have a table service restaurant as well, and there's Banana Cabana, which is their pool bar. They serve up some small plates there as as well as drinks, so that's a lot of fun. But Disney's Caribbean Beach is also walking distance from Disney's Riviera Resort, which is a Disney Vacation Club resort. Now, this did not make our list today, but it is walking distance from a resort that did, and that means you have easy access to their fantastic quick service location, their character dining upstairs, their coffee bar, as well as Bar Riva, their pool bar as well. So that might be worth checking out, and it's another dining option that's available to you if you're thinking about staying at Disney's Caribbean Beach, making it even better for families because it gives you more options, and I'm a fan of more options. Next up on our list is an option that's going to be perfect for families traveling with animal lovers, and that is Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. Now, this resort is in the deluxe category, meaning it's one of the most expensive accommodations available here at the Walt Disney World Resort, and it's a little bit out of the way, which isn't going to be right for every family, especially families who want to spend a ton of time in the parks. Though I think it's important to note that while you only have bus transportation to get to the theme parks, it's not as bad as some people make it out to be. In fact, the bus transportation is often very efficient, and you can get everywhere you need to go with relative ease. But the thing that really stands out about this resort is your access to the savannah. Yes, this resort sits on the savannah, which gives you and your family the ability to enjoy animals. Yes, the same animals that you'll see over at Disney's Animal Kingdom, not only from the resort, but depending on your room type, right from your balcony. Now, there's no way around it. This is going to be a unique experience unlike anything else that you'll find here at Walt Disney World or pretty much anywhere else. And I think that makes this a great option for the right family, though it is a little bit more on the pricey side. And like I said, a tad bit out of the way. Now, because this is a deluxe category resort, the theming isn't going to be over the top Disney. It's going to be a little bit more subtle, though there is amazing theming at this resort. So definitely don't think that you're going to be getting a bland kind of, gray beige experience. Definitely not here at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. You're also going to have a slightly different experience when it comes to dining here at this resort. So we do have quick service options. We do have a pool bar option, but you're also going to have table service options, which are going to be a little bit more pricey as well. So that's something you're definitely going to want to take into consideration when you're budgeting for your trip and planning if this is the option that you're going to go with. You still have a lot of great options to choose from, but it's not going to be as wide a variety at as affordable a price as it would be at a moderate or value category resort. And finally, our last resort that I think is perfect for families, especially younger families who are going to spend most of their time over at Disney's Magic Kingdom, Disney's Contemporary Resort. Now, Disney's Contemporary Resort is a resort that most people are probably familiar with. It's an icon. It does fall within the deluxe category, making it one of the most expensive accommodation options here at the Walt Disney World Resort, and that might have you wondering why I would have it on this list. But aside from it being an icon, aside from it being on many people's bucket lists, it's the location that really has this resort shining, in my opinion, for families. Not only is it right next to Magic Kingdom, it's walking distance from Magic Kingdom, which means especially if you're traveling with really little ones, you're going to be spending most of your time at Magic Kingdom. Maybe you've got a stroller that you don't want to have to deal with like opening and closing to get on Disney transportation constantly. This could be the option for you. Now, again, as this is a deluxe resort, the theming is going to be a little bit more subtle than it would be at other resorts in the moderate or value category, but that's not to say that there isn't plenty of Disney magic sprinkled throughout the place. You'll definitely experience Disney characters, especially if you happen to be wandering past Chef Mickey's, which is in the center area. If you're staying in the main tower, you'll be able to look down at the Disney characters throughout the day as families are dining. There's also lots of theming throughout, and of course, Magic Kingdom is right there. But also, just like with Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge, we do have to think about the dining options, and they're not going to be the same as they would be if we were staying at a moderate or value. So we do have a quick service option, which is going to have some affordable options as well as some grab and go options, and that's great. We also have multiple table service dining options here, many of which are very popular. So if you're planning on eating at one of these options, reservations are definitely recommended. Now look, that rounds out our 5, but before I go, I do have another little bonus tip that I want to add in here, particularly for Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge as well as the Contemporary. See, both of these resorts are in the deluxe category, making them super expensive, but they are also shared with Disney Vacation Club. Now, Disney Vacation Club is a topic we've gotten into before. It's one that I'm not going to really dig into today, but I wanted want to mention it because since there are Disney Vacation Club rooms, Disney Vacation Club accommodations at both of these resorts, it does give you an option to stay here for a slightly discounted rate if you decide to go the route of renting Disney Vacation Club points. Now, this is something, again, we've talked about in the past, and I do recommend that you look into it before you actually go through with it. We even talk about some of the things that I think you need to know if you're considering renting Disney Vacation Club points, so I will link that in the description down below. This is definitely not going to be an option for everyone, but it is an option that might be right for you and your family if you want to stay at one of these places at less than it would cost you if you paid cash. So take that into consideration when doing all your research and planning for your vacation, because that might get you where you want to go for a price you're much more willing to pay. But there you have it, 5 different resorts that I think are great for families. Art of Animation, the All-Star Resorts, which is technically 3, but we're counting them as 1, Disney's Caribbean Beach, Animal Kingdom Lodge, and of course the Contemporary. Now, these are just 5 resorts. There are so many more here at Walt Disney World, so I want to know what you think is the best resort for families, whether it's for families in general or families like yours, so pop it in a comment down below. Also, if you've ever stayed at any of these resorts, I want to hear about your experience, so tell us all about it. But I think that's all for now. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Until then, bye.